we have not just a deposit of uranium vanadium, but we have an entire district.
Yep.
And that's really where the upside is. And this district spans 145 kilometers in length, over 50 kilometers wide. So again, speaks volumes to the undiscovered potential that lies within a country like Argentina. And recently, just about a year ago, we announced our first deposit, 43101 deposit, and our PEA was announced about a month ago. So what we have is just under 23 million pounds of uranium, 11 million pounds of vanadium, and that's all within a 3 kilometer by 3 kilometer area. And again, this has the potential to expand, to grow, to become amongst the largest deposits of uranium in the world. And what's key here is the way that this deposit lies. It lies right up on surface. It's within the first 25 meters from surface down. And it's also not in hard rock. It's sort of a compressed gravel. So it means in terms of cost, this is very cheap to extract and to separate. And in fact, our PEA, our preliminary economic assessment, indicates that we can produce this at $16 a pound, which ranks us amongst the lowest cost producers in the world, like those we see in Kazakhstan. And we've only started scratching on the surface. We wanted first to prove two things in this. One, that we can be amongst the lowest cost in the world, and the second point, to be amongst the largest. So I think we've been able to demonstrate now that we are amongst the lowest cost, and we're about to embark now on an exploration campaign that can demonstrate that this 23 million pound deposit can grow, you know, twofold, threefold, fourfold, can be over 100 million pounds.
So let's say even if we have a kind of plus or minus 30% on a PEA, it's fairly industry standard, that's still pretty low. I should say as low as the Kazakh number. It's still not quite economic at today's prices, so you need some help there with the pricing.
Well, it's break even at today's spot prices, around $30. But you know, when there is when you have a production, you don't sell at spot. Most of the contract prices are at $50 or $60.
And you're selling this into the Argentine market?
Well, the Argentine market is a very interesting market because Argentina, unlike other countries in Latin America, actually has a nuclear regime. Since they've been active since the 50s, they've got 3 nuclear reactors that they've got going right now, and they import all the uranium for that. They have a number of research reactors, and they control every aspect of the nuclear industry except for production. So they currently have to import all their uranium, and they're paying between $75 and $85 a pound for that.
Why?
Because that's you have to remember that nuclear reactors, the cost of uranium is actually quite negligible to the cost of actually shutting down a reactor and keeping it on care and maintenance. So to have a surety of that import, of that price, they will pay a higher price because it becomes quite negligible. And because also that they ship it, they're probably paying $10 to $15 in shipping costs per every pound of uranium. So Argentina right now is very much encouraging, would like to have a domestic source of uranium. And we've been talking with them. They know very aware of who we are and what we have. They're very keen that we are the largest and most advanced deposit in Argentina. And we have a lot of support to become the next supplier for that country.
But it's obviously relatively small. We're talking about 3 nuclear plants, another one under construction. Yeah. We're not talking a massive amount of volume.
No, they would probably, right now they import about 500,000 pounds a year. Probably in the next couple of years, that'll probably be up to about 1 million. They likely would stockpile some uranium. So the way the law is written is that Argentina has first right to acquire any uranium that's produced at international market prices. So there wouldn't be anything special. So that would be our first supplier, and then anything left over, of course, would be for export market. And what's the other thing that's interesting that we have within our uranium deposit is we have the occurrence of vanadium. And vanadium, as of late, for those attuned to the mining metals markets, would know that, you know, we've seen the price of vanadium for the last few years being $3-4 a pound, and now it's trading about $15 a pound. So there's a big demand for that. And again, you know, it's a battery metal, just like lithium. It's used for storage, but that's not the main driver. The main driver, of course, for vanadium is its use as a steel hardener. And China's recently, you know, have mandated an increase in the amount of vanadium in steel production, and that's brought up and it's just currently sustaining the higher price of vanadium. Now, Argentina has also a huge need for vanadium because they have an active oil and gas industry in southern Argentina, and they're constantly manufacturing pipelines. And these pipelines require vanadium to make them hard. So there would be another market there for that metal as well.
And what, obviously the vanadium market, the pricing is erratic to say the least. Does the PA include the vanadium component, or is that just focused on the uranium?
No, it's inclusive of the
Right.
vanadium component.
Right. And what, tell me about, when you say significant, what do you mean?
Well, the vanadium contributes, you know, quite a bit to help offset some of the costs and to make, for every pound of rock that we extract, to make it that much more valuable. And it's no additional cost for us to extract it. The metallurgical process involves just scooping up the gravel, putting it through a sieve, removing the larger rocks because the mineralization is in the dust. And then basically we were able to reduce that by get rid of 75–80% of the waste rock, which is clean. And then we put the rest of it on a leach pad, and a simple alkaline solution, which is cheap and well proven throughout the world, extracts both the vanadium and the uranium. So it's a very simple, low cost way to get it out. And as we expand our deposit, we're going to see all our costs begin to come down.
Fantastic. So I'm hearing Argentina is a very friendly jurisdiction in terms of not only mining, you know, now, but also with regards to uranium, it's seen as possibly a strategic resource for them.
Yes, I mean, we have been active in Argentina, like I said at the outset, for 26 years now. So I guess we can call ourselves experts in operating in that country. And, you know, no matter what country you operate in, when you're a foreigner, it takes a while. You have to acquire and understand the local needs, the local misgivings, and so forth, and develop your contacts and people that go to both within the industry, government. And we've always recognized that, and we've been very successful at establishing being good guests, so to speak, in a country like Argentina. So Argentina right now has a government run by Mauricio Macri, a businessman. He's very pro-business. They very much want to see the development of the mining industry a lot further than it has come. They want to see it as a larger component of you know, contributing to their economy. We have approached us. They have indicated that if there's any roadblocks or red tape that's in the way, let them know. They're going to do whatever they can to facilitate it. We'd like working in Argentina. It's a safe country in which to work with. It's abundant with natural resources. And with respect to the uranium that we have, because they have the entire framework for dealing with nuclear materials and so forth, it makes it that much easier. They already understand the language, they understand the fears, they're members of all the international agreements. So it's just much more fluid and much easier for us in which to operate.